Hello and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and today's episode I'll be looking at the Idaho 4 students case again. I'll do a fresh reading on the day of the attack and some additional other dates and see if I can pick up anything about this issue around the court case, and let's see if we can pick up anything around the knife. And I almost want to say knives as in plural. All right, so I'm going to start from scratch. The card that you will be seeing on the screen, I'm starting with just the date, the 13th of the 11th, 2022. Let me just double check that. All right. So as mentioned in the previous videos leading up to this on the channel, this case has been pinging on me again. So I'm going to treat it like a new reading. I haven't refreshed myself. All right, so I'm just drawing out the card. So you should see the 24-6 plus the 6, which gives us the 33, as well as the 12-3 shadow. So we know the attack happened around 4 a.m., I believe, just give me 1 second here. I'm picking up my bits and bobs from my other presentations. I will more than likely edit this out. Yes. All right, there we go. So we know the attack happened in the early hours of the 13th. So we will immediately see what happens at that time. So on the 13th, we have the 13-4 in play. And I'm just drawing out the numbers. We have the 11-2. And of course, the 2022 is a 6. If you add all the 2's together. So the 11 and the 13 gives us the 24-6 and the 6 year. We have, and I'm just gonna go fetch a triangle here, because we have 3 6s in play here, which is not a good sign. And of course, retrospectively, we know the event itself was quite traumatic. All right, so we got those 3 6s in play. Very violent, very aggressive, knives. And I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days and just slipping into a little bit of a trance meditation about the case. And for some reason, and I'm going to try to go deeper here, I was picking up multiple knives, multiple knives. Maybe I would say at least 2 knives on the scene. And again, I picked up an image. There's definitely other people involved here. And I will get confirmation while I'm putting out these numbers, but I'm just showing an initial image. And please, we do need to go through verifications. But in my opinion, the image that I saw was very strong. I'm seeing 2 females involved here as well. Of course, I see them in their role in terms of discovering, but on the night, let's just see here, 13, 24, 6. So 24-6 is that family friend connection number. There's definitely friends involved here. And that's why I've just been reminded again. And, just seeing these beautiful faces. Zaina just pinged on me again. And in my very, very first reading, I was getting everything through Zaina. It's really amazing. Ever present, been pinging on me lately. Zaina is reminding me that she was startled during the incident because of the person in front of her or doing the act, or an accomplice is the word I'm getting. There's definitely someone else involved here. The only bit of information I did look at just by chance was the profile by numbers episode I did on Brian. And what's what I'm going to say? And in that video, I mentioned there were 2 energy releases, exterior, the sliding door at the back. And at the time, I was very positive that there was definitely a double energy release in 2 different parts. That means 2 people, while derobing, had an energy release. So, but what I'm not necessarily getting an image of that, but I'm just getting, there's more than one person in the house involved here, again. You see, what's interesting here as well, and I'm just trying to get the energy around here, right? I'm feeling energy more today than before. So what is alarming, as mentioned, the 11 plus the 13 gives us the 24. Now, if you take that 24 plus the 6, we get that 33. That is also telling me, apart from the obvious, that there's this there's this big energy burst. Once you start having mass numbers, there's your energy burst right there, actually. But what I'm picking up now is, because there's an outcome 3, there's a lot of feminine energy here. That speaks about feminine energy. And of course, we know, in terms of who the intended targets were, Ethan wasn't necessarily the target. So as much as, and of course he would be represented by the number 4 being male, but we have all this female, feminine energy on the scene, right? 33. 30 is mass energy, and I believe, and she's picking on me now, similar kind of numbers in the Nancy Inc case. There's a war going on here, in my opinion, and it did niggle me in the beginning, to be honest, but I never really wanted to say anything as yet, let's just say. Now that the energy has settled somewhat, there's something going on here within these pictures with these girls. And again, I'm no body language expert, but the picture on the right tells me quite a bit, versus the picture on the left as well. There's a lot of discontent between some of these people here. And I picked up in, I don't necessarily like looking at photos, so it never was my thing a year ago, but it's still pinging on me now. And looking at that 33, I'm even going to make it red, so you'll see it as red, but it was initially just bold black. That 33 tells me not only was there a crime against women, but it also by women. And we have that 12-3 there. Of course, we see the 13-4. That's where Ethan would sit with the 4. We have the 3 representing the woman. And we know Ethan fought back. I mean, these guys weren't really asleep for much, because I believe Zaina and Ethan had ordered the takeout, right? But be that as it may, it ended in a very bloody, messy day. And it always struck me, if there was that kind of noise in the house, and you're telling me your roommates aren't alarmed or something, and I know there's reports saying, yeah, we thought it's the usual noise. I don't buy that really. So let me look at the day after. So I'm just going to go 11:2. So you will already see this, but I'm just drawing it out now for me. I will sort out the screen record at some point, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because things are still a little bit mental. All right, so we got the 11:2, the 14:5, Band of Brothers. 2022 gives us a 6, so that's a 25, 7, 6. So we have a 25-7 in the day. That's a nasty number in this situation there. But it's also telling us something. There's something. The 25-7 is pinging on me. So we're going to go through the process. Unfortunately, not seeing it animated as I go, so I will sort it out. And then we have a repetition here of the 13-4. So definitely murder or death. I'm going to flag it as red, so you'll see it as red. The 25-7 to me is not a good number. It's almost like, I mean, it definitely was premeditated. That 25-7 tells me this was definitely premeditated, I would say by young people. That's actually quite interesting, actually. It's amazing. You know, I learned with the Summer Wells case, having not done that case for a year, how new bits of information was popping up on me. And that was just my internal processes that I have to deal with in terms of doing a sequel or a follow-up. But this case has been pinging on me as well. Because I've been hearing in the news, to my surprise, funny enough, that he's now trying to get out of getting tried. Sneaky little snake. All right, so this might be a couple of recordings. I'm currently recording this on the 29th of January, and it's 19:27 local South African time. Welcome. Come in peace or else. Okay, so let's just see. So the next day, definitely the perpetrators is a group of young people. It's a group of young people, premeditated 25-7 with the outcome death. So this was definitely planned. Now I'm just going to call out this next day here because this will tell me something else as well, which is the 15-6. I'm going to see what we can get in this reading. I don't want to waste your guys' time, and you know I have this issue about commercializing stuff, so especially of this nature. 26, unless there's good purpose. 26-7. 26-8. Jeez, my maths has gone out the window. All right, so we got a 26-8 and a 6. That gives us, I didn't do that for you, just give me 1 sec. So we got a 31-4, yeah, that's not good, 31-4, yo. That 31-4 also pops up in these type of murder cases. That 31-4, that is detrimental to the human flesh. That's what I've been picking up lately. Very detrimental number to have at a crime scene, unfortunately, of this nature, and we all can agree that that must have been a terrible crime scene. Alright, so I just had to remove this graph quickly. Alright, believe it or not, I used to work at some kind of it was like a, for lack of a better word, a telecenter. But it was a psychic hotline, so people would phone in on the daily and ask questions. Now, what I found interesting about that was initially, before joining them, I had a certain process when I did my private readings, right? So I would take my time, just make sure I'm ready, get into the flow properly. But when you're on those telephones, the calls were coming in quite thick and fast at times, and I would need to do my normal process in an instant. So I quickly learned how to speed up my process, and ever since then, it's actually, I don't know if it's quite a good thing, but I've been more switched on than not ever since that, which is a good thing because it also helps me in my day job, let's say. All right, so I've just had to realign the graph quickly, beg your pardon. I'll probably edit this part out. All right, so the following day, well, not the following day, the day after, the 15th of November, gives us the 26-8, very bloody violent murder, hey? The 268, bloody violent. That 8 is all about, impact on the human body. And it's reflected in that 31-4, 26-8. So it's confirmation. We have that 14-5 on the scene again. And we had that 45 present on the 14th. So it's interesting, we're getting reflections here. So that 14-5 still tells me a group of young people. Eh? So of course we can argue a group of young people were murdered. But it also means that the perpetrators were also young people. And that actually, let's just make 100% sure here, because if that's the case, there's another confirmation that there's more than one person involved here. But how did they get away? Or did they need to get away? That's the question. I've just been drawn back to the energy bursts I felt outside the exterior. I'm just checking. Let me just do the day. I'm checking something. I picked up a conversation possibly outside. And I know I'm kind of sticking my head on the block here again by intimating that I would definitely say it was an intimate killing, if you like. These people were known. It's almost like your friends murdered you, and that is why Zaina was shocked to see who was involved here. I just had this phrase go over my head, which is her Zaina flying around here. Free spirit, mom, free spirit. Sorry, I was just writing out the numbers. She was saying something to the effect of, it was almost like at the time she was obviously horrified that this person's standing in front of her, but then in retrospect, in the spirit, it's like, well, there was no surprise, right? So the day before, we have an outcome 29-11-2. So there's the plan in motion, hey? The 23-5, I'm going to highlight in orange. We've spoken about this number. This number in the Summer Wells case, 23-5. Same thing happening here. And I picked up on this before, but I didn't say it. There's definitely arguments going on between groups here. There's a smaller group and a bigger group, but there's definitely conflict happening within the group here. Huh? And I would say the group would be then the people within the home. Now, I don't have their dates of births on the slide so far, or the guy that's in jail. The 23-5 is telling me there's arguments, there's issues going on here, and people aren't happy. Unfortunately, we have that 11-2. Not to state the obvious, but I'm just pointing out in terms of the numbers. That 11-2 is about breaking the law, people coming together, or people separating, right? That 2-9, that 9 is murder. That is like murderous intent. So this plan was in play even the day before, the 11th. I'm just doing a 11-2-4. Yeah. There's definitely something going on here. There's definitely smaller groups involved here. They know each other. I'm going to highlight the 24-6 in orange, because that tells me the people standing beside the bed knew the people in the bed, and the people in the bed knew the people standing by the bed. Young people standing by the bed as well. So I'm just, let me tell you where I am. There's the question of, so according to reports or evidence given, is the one was found in their normal room downstairs, I believe. And another one was found almost on the same floor as Zane and Ethan, or on another floor, on the floor, having passed out or something, having seen so she sees the boogeyman walk right by her, identifies his eyes and his eyebrows, and yet she's telling the story. All right, let's me be naughty. So what was crossing my mind is post the event. So we know one was in their room, one was on the floor. Was it a staging? And I must say, there's evidence in the 26H of staging. 26H staging. 14-5 young people behaving badly. 14-5 young people behaving badly. Now, this happened on the 6th year. So I'm going to the question of, will this court go to trial successfully? Will there be a successful outcome based on the day of the event? I was going to see if I pick up anything on that, all right? Oof. I believe there will be justice, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe there will be justice. Getting to the finality of this crime, I mean, we can already agree it's now, like I said, the 29th, 2024, January. And this case already is dragging on, right? And might drag on for a bit longer, but I'm certainly seeing there's difficulties going to be coming around this case. And again, I'm getting tipped that there's more than one person involved here, and I think maybe that's why he believes he can try to get off this case. But it's not to say just because we believe you're the only person involved, doesn't make you not guilty because we didn't realize there's another person involved. You know what I mean? That's how he's thinking. I'm telling you how he's thinking. So, dumb criminal. I've always believed he's a dumb criminal from the start, and sorry for being a little bit abusive. Because we have a criminologist or even a teacher teaching criminology. Dumbest criminal in the world. All right, so let's just see. There's definitely justice coming for this case, 100%. There is going to be delays, 5. And I'm seeing it in that 25-7. There's going to be delays around this court. There's going to be bullshit after bullshit. But let me tell you, it will get resolved one way or the other. And let me not just say one way or the other. Through the judicial system, there will be justice. I'm going to say it. That 25-7 is also telling me there could be possibly a mistrial. So there could be 2 court cases around this whole situation, but the first one, there's going to be a mistrial. Now, I don't know how the law goes in terms of you can't be tried for the same crime, or what's at play here in terms of the legalities. Because it has been bothering me. I don't intently go and look for information on this case on the daily, but what I've been picking up recently and in the past few months is that there's been this delay at the court. We've got to be careful here. This guy's looking for a technicality to get out of here. There could be a chance of a mistrial as well, but I can tell you now, his team is going to throw the kitchen at this thing. And I believe it's because he knows something. He knows something that will probably absolve him in some way, shape, or form, but not of the whole crime, let's say. But there's something holding back here. So they're definitely going to throw the kitchen sink at this, 25-7. 31-4. And there will be a finality. I'm not. I can't recall what are they going for life or death penalty in the state? Can I just check quickly? I'm admitting I'm checking something. Are they going for the death penalty on this case? I know you guys have got the answer, but at this stage, I don't have the answer. It looks like you can get the death penalty in Idaho. Because whatever the outcome is, I can tell you now, it's final. If not definite, if you know what I mean. 13-4. He's definitely going to be found guilty of the 4 murders, that's for sure. There's something still off about this case. I'm getting told to calm down because I'm like boiling inside because I'm not seeing it. So we have a repetition of the 6s on the 15th. 26, 8, 32, 5, 14, 5. There's definitely other people involved here. There's definitely other people involved here. All right, so I was wondering if there was any information on the knife. Because rumor would have it that he obviously dumped the knife somewhere. But let's just tap into that again, because I kept on getting multiple knives. It's almost like, know how you would strap your knives to your hands? So they don't come loose, they're always sturdy, that you can punch as a hit with a knife. The question is though, who tied the second hand? See, I'm getting these multiple pings on multiple perps on the scene. I've been shown a blonde hair falling on the tape. There's definitely someone else in that room with Brian. Who strapped the second hand? And I'm still picking up again. And like I said, I haven't gone into the original video, not necessarily the Kuberger profile number. And I'm getting that image again of, there was a recording, on a mobile phone, this was recorded as well. So let's just, I'm just going to look specifically now at the chart from a weapons point of view, right? So we've got a lot of sixes on the day. So that tells me already to have that many sixes, and yes, of course, the crime was very violent, but it would also suggest there was more than one knife on the scene as well. I just had an image, and we'll develop it, of Kuberger dropping the knives in a side alley dustbin, those big dustbin containers that you see in the movies. I know, I watch America through the movies, right? But those big kind of alleyway drums or trash bins that you see, right? Like a dumpster vibe, yeah. But I don't know if that is a real image, because I'm seeing a masking over there. Definitely more than one weapon. I'm hearing multiple weapons in these boots. I'm hearing multiple weapons. I'm hearing multiple weapons in his boot, or in his trunk, you would say in America, beg your pardon. The students are pinging on me, yeah? Talk American, Roberto. There's another number here on the scene that's not necessarily a good number either. And I'm going to highlight it as orange. The 15-6 is out of place. So the man involved, the male involved, is out of place. It's like, what is he doing with these young people? How old was Kuberger? I don't know very well. But there's definitely an older man, younger girls or boys situation happening here as well. It could be, yes, it could be the teacher and the student, correct? Because he was, I believe, a lecturer or a part-time lecturer, whatever he was. Certainly a dumb criminal. Yeah, so that could be the teacher-student situation. Yeah, very, very disturbing case, this, when it broke. So I'm definitely, let's just go back to the weapons. I definitely heard multiple weapons. Let me just see if I can pick up that knife somewhere. So the proximity of where I'm seeing that image of the dumpster to the crime scene, Would have been maybe halfway from where he lived to where the crime scene is. Seen a blue dumpster. I'm getting told the word dumpster now. And I'm picking up a white building. So it's next to a white building. Almost looks, I would say, almost looks residential type. Or I would say that's possibly an undeveloped image, and I would need to work on that a bit more. So this is the first recording. I'll see how I feel. Let me just see if I can get back into the knives. The other weapons. Gosh, I just had a glimpse of Kuberger again. Jesus, he's arrogant. He really, and he's talking to someone else, by the way, post-event. And he's saying, it's like he's standing in the street. And he's saying, they'll never guess who it is. They'll never get who it is. Like he was that arrogant that he'd get away with it. So let me just check the time counter here. So it's about 30 minutes, 37 minutes long already, probably with a bit of a trim down, 30 minutes. What I'll do is I'll extend the premiere. Let's try this. I haven't got to the level of live broadcast yet, which I will look at post-February. It'll be nice to do live shows, especially this kind of show. You guys can ask questions, and I'll see what I can get from it. So what I'll do is for the premiere, I'll extend the premiere by, let's say, 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, so we can stay live for 10 minutes, and I'll answer as many questions during the show as well as after the show. All right, let's just see if I pick up anything else here. So this is my normal routine. I'm just going meditating on these numbers, looking at these numbers, the sequence of the days, and sometimes these numbers pop out at me. Let's have a look here. But there's a lot of feminine energy on the scene, and I know obviously 3 of the students were women that were unfortunately attacked, and we had 2 other women in the house. Okay, let me look from, I just had a thought. There's definitely bickering going on in this house. I don't think this household was, it might have been known as the party house, like it's referred to. That's one thing. But there were disagreements and arguments between the inhabitants of the house as well. And I believe this may have played a role in the situation. All right, so I'm going to sign off, but if I do add, then I'll just date mark it. But thank you for watching. I'll keep watching the news on when this court case is going to get, the date's going to be set. What I've been actually waiting for is for that date to be set. Because that will give me some information as well. So as soon as that date is set, I'll look at doing another show. If I don't do another one before then. All right, so thank you for watching. Please leave your comments, and I'll stay on a bit, and we can do a bit of a chat if you're watching the premiere show. If you're watching the repeat, you can leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll answer them as best as I can. All right, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and stay alert.